a proud member of Reach for Recovery SKB. Welcome to Royal St. Kitts Hotel, Shades of Pink 14, a breast cancer event where we raise funds for persons who are in dire need. Reach for Recovery is a community group. We are housed at the OJ's Complex, number 8 OJ's Complex, and we are a breast cancer group where we help persons in need, the cause and everything. Well, it's a pink affair. I'm deemed pink ice. It's a pink affair whereby you come and you just sit down for a couple hours with Reach for Recovery. Good food, lots of giveaways here at the Royal St. Kitts. Every year, we are partnered with some business houses in town that give away great prizes for auction. You can bid from $10 go up for some fabulous gifts from the different business houses in St. Kitts. We're always looking for members and persons, of course, to contribute to the cause. You can find us at number 8 OJ's Complex. If you want to make a contribution, you come, you sit, you speak with us. And even if you want to be a member, it's only $20 per month to join our group.
My role is to support events like this one that we are having today and bring that to life, all in the name of support.
Once again, we welcome our soloist, Mrs. Cardell Rouse.
1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. You're looking so beautiful in your pink this afternoon. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here and render this selection to you wonderful people. I pray that it will be a blessing and that it would touch someone to know that your journey is never too long and your life is never too short, for God is always with you and He will be with you unto the end. When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite for down below, when you're too in love to let it go. But if you never try, you'll never know. Just watch your words. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Tears stream down your face when you lose something you cannot replace. Tears stream down your face, and tears stream down your face. I promise you I will learn from my mistakes. Tears stream down your face, and lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Thank you.
And that was a beautiful rendition by Mrs. Rouse. She now makes way for our drumming selection.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilma Brown. I'm one of I'm from the group Reach of Recovery, and the event is going pretty well right now. Right now, everyone is eating, but it's going pretty well.
my name is Maureen, and this is my first time at this event. I am very surprised at the turnout, and I really enjoy being here.
This is Reach for Recovery 14th celebration of life. This year we're calling it Pink Crystal. We're celebrating life. I am also a cancer survivor, 2 times cancer survivor. And so we are very happy to have all of these people celebrating with us. We love to have all of you. Thank you very much. 14 Shades. Next year, see you all next year.
So this is my second time attending the Reach for Recovery breast cancer event. And I must say it is really a meaningful and powerful movement that I'm seeing here. Last year when I was here, we didn't have as many men, but I think I counted about 17. So men are also joining the movement. I think this event is not only for those who suffer from it, but those who have to provide the support as well. And so it's really an interesting and a really important movement that we have going on here. So I say congratulations to Reach for Recovery, St. Kitts and Nevis, and we will continue to lend our support wherever we can. Cheers to 14 years. Thank you.
I think this is a wonderful event and it's for a very worthwhile cause. I am extremely happy to be here and I just wish the organization that they continue to go from strength to strength. They are fulfilling a very important role in our community, supporting women and men who have breast cancer. So we just pray that everyone who is suffering now will recover fully and know that they have the support of all of us in the community.
I am visiting my rather large family in St. Kitts. I live in Barbados at the moment, and I'm very proud to say that the performance of the Barbadians who came down for Carrie Festa was exceptional. I was walking around telling everybody, I am Kittitian Nevisian. So I thought this is an opportunity to thank the St. Kitts for sending such a brilliant troop down.
My name is Carolyn Williams. Yes, I'm a part of the breast cancer. I'm a part of breast cancer thing. Yes, I've been supporting it now over more than 14 years, and every event I've been here to support it. It's a grand thing, and it's very good. It's a very good event for people who have cancer, survivors, and everything. I love it. I love what they are doing for people. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Sharon, and I'm supporting this initiative because it's beneficial for everyone. And it's a beautiful event. I love it. I got introduced by this lady, so this is my 3rd year, I think. This is my 3rd year, so I'm very appreciative of everything that they're doing for women and also for men as well.
This is my first time here at this event, and I find that it is very, very interesting. I normally attend the walks and everything that they have for cancer, but this is the first time I'm coming to this event. I am enjoying it, and I will encourage people outside to come to, because we never know where cancer would start, and so we all have to look out for each other. So I would really encourage the general public to come and support these events.
So, this is my first time to this event, Shades of Pink, and it's actually a lovely event. Come dressed in all pink and come out and have fun. It's the place to be, so don't miss it. Make sure you are here next year. Hi, good afternoon, and how are you doing today?
Wonderful.
Is this your first time to the event?
Yes, it is, and it's awesome. And it's a good place to be. Next year, make sure everybody come out and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Please join us in welcoming Mr. Othniel Halliger to our conversation.
And last, but by no means least, is a remarkable community champion whose love and dedication have been a guiding light for her mother throughout her breast cancer journey. Through her unwavering support, she shows us that community isn't just about groups or events, it's about standing beside those we love in their time of need, inspiring hope and courage every step of the way. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nikwa Webster to our conversation.
Me all a walk like a champion, talk like a champion. What a piece of money, girl, tell me where you get it from. Knock on your entrance, ram pa pa pam pam.
All right, so no need to be nervous. We are just having a conversation. So just imagine we're at home drinking some tea and just talking about what's current in the news, basically. So we will just ask simple questions and you can answer at the best of your ability and we'll just move from there. So we're going to start with Miss Adams. Kayla, do you want to do the honors or do you want me to begin?
Well, I can begin for sure, because I would like Miss Adams to tell us, when she looks back over her 20 years, what has been the most important lesson in your breast cancer journey, and also you can give us some insights into what it is going through, the whole emotional roller coaster and the timeline of being or becoming a breast cancer survivor.
Good afternoon. For me, my journey began 20 years ago, October. It's going to make exactly 20 years. I had surgery in November 2005, but I was a member of the Breast Cancer Association prior to that because I had lost a sister, my eldest sister, just a few years before, and I felt that, well, that was my giving back to society. Unfortunately, one Sunday afternoon, I was home and I don't know what happened, but I felt a lump, and that was the beginning of this 20-year journey. It was not easy in the beginning. For me, I had a death sentence in my head, but the Lord had other plans, and I'm here today. It wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't an easy journey. It was an expensive journey, but you have to, one thing you have to do is to speak about it, encourage other persons, and always be positive. And that's basically the summing up of my journey. But breast cancer runs deep in my family. Since then, I lost my youngest sister 3 years ago. So for me, it's still an emotional roller coaster. I don't know if you want to say lucky, but life has challenges and it's throw it in different ways. But you also have to speak about it and be positive with it.
Beautifully said, Miss Adams. Of course, give her a round of applause. And we want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. And I actually lost my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, to breast cancer as well when she was living in St. Thomas. And even though I never got the chance to really be there to assist her in fighting, I know that even though she was in St. Thomas and I was here in St. Kitts, that no matter what happened, that she know that she had our support and the love. And most times, once our members, whether family or friend, once you're able to even give a call to check in, that too can mean so much. So thank you so much for sharing. So let's give it up again for Miss Adams, beautifully said. As we continue, I have a question for Mr. Heiliger. So what inspired you to offer your space to support our breast cancer community?
Good afternoon to everyone. That question, I could say it's a simple question, but it actually runs much deeper. So what I can do is actually say what really, really got me to do that. After knowing Pat for a long, long time, and she came to me one day looking for space. I showed her the space that I had, and then she actually indicated to me that the association is not a wealthy association. You don't have a lot of money. So when she saw the space, she was comfortable with it, and I simply said to her, okay, I would not charge you the full thing, but just to let you know what the price is for that particular space. And I reduced the price because of the association. And I decided that to give back or to give to society, which is a part of my life, the last 50 odd years of my life, I've been with NGOs, just giving back, giving, giving. And breast cancer, when you hear about the challenges that some people are faced with, it's not easy. And I figured that by reducing the cost to the association, it can help someone or so many others along the pathway. That's my story.
And we say thank you so much to Mr. Heiliger. And indeed, your act, as small as it is, has allowed the association to petition its responsibility and, of course, continue to propel its vision and mission to ensure that there is some sort of rally being done as a champion the cause, just to make it better for those, whether you're suffering or not, or even surviving, because, again, it's not an easy journey. So thank you so much for that. And I'm sure those of us who are even here looking, we are grateful for his contribution. So let's give it up again for Mr. Heiliger.
And just to add to what Vikel said, I actually have some friends who utilize the services at the Pink Zone because of his offering to the group, every Saturday there's a nurse at the facility that sees females and males who want to come and ask questions, not just breast cancer related, but any health problem at all. And I know that my aunt, where she is smiling because if you ever were to ask her why she started the group, she would tell you that it's because when she was going through her journey, she had support from her family, and she knew that others may not have that support, and so she felt it in her heart to be her responsibility to start that support. And as we speak about support and we pivot into that area, I want to ask Danico a question. We would have mentioned that she's supporting her mother on this journey, and I want you to give us a bit of an insight or a peek into what that is like from the supporter's standpoint, and also what you do to keep your mother's spirits up and positive.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start off by saying it has not been easy at all. As my fellow panelists mentioned, it's expensive, very expensive. It's tiring, but it's very tiring, but without the support of community members, family members, the church, I really cannot say how grateful and thankful that we are for their love and their support. In the 2024, January 2024, my mother complained about a lump in her breast. I said, Mommy, we need to get you to the doctor. That was the first thing on my mind, that big C. And I kept saying, I don't want to think it's that, I don't want to think it's that. Getting the results, it was that. And I said to myself, I would never have expected that my mom would be in this situation, because as far as we know, cancer does not run in the family like that. We've had blood pressure and diabetes. So then her journey started. Going to the doctor, we had to remove the lump to do a biopsy, back into the hospital again for the removal of the breast, the injections, the chemotherapy, the radiation. It has been very tiring, as I said before. I have a little child to deal with. Being the eldest of 4, I had to be back and forth because I'm not living with her. I had to be back and forth, back and forth. I've made calls for help, calls for support. We had our few family members that are not here who called in to check on her. My sisters and I, we got together, we took her places just to, keep her happy and for her not to dwell on the situation. I quit my job and ended up working with her at a small business just to show her, Mommy, I am here for you whenever you need me. There were times she had to be hospitalized. I had to leave my daughter with my grandmother and had to rush to the hospital, rush home to pack a bag by her. So it really has not been an easy journey, but I am so happy and I thank God that my mother is here today. She's alive, she is well, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. And it comes back to the village. It takes a village to raise a child, but we also need to understand that we need that village even when we are adults, no matter what. So after that child is raised, now being an adult, you still need to maintain what that child would have been taught there in and there out. And again, it is important for us to have these different communities for different reasons. You may look to people for different things, but as I mentioned before, I think support is one of the number one things you can give to anyone. Because believe it or not, just being there can make a difference.
And with that said, I would love to know from Ms. Adams, what role has Reach for Recovery specifically played in building or supporting that support system that you have and supporting you through your journey?
Well, like I said earlier, I was a member of the group way back when Miss Farrell started it. And she gave, even though she herself had her own challenges, she gave a lot of support. And I think that is one of the things which made me think positive. Because like I said, I gave myself a death sentence because that's all you knew. Having lost a sister like 2 years before, that's all you knew, right? But the group helped you to change your thinking and to think positive and to look forward. And there's life with, after your diagnosis and your treatment. I mean, for me, like I said, it's 20 years and I feel good. Yes, you have to keep checking, but in terms of the rigid medications and stuff, I myself off of that. But you cannot take a blind eye. You cannot say, oh, well, I'm cured. You might be cured, but you have to keep checking and, observing and that kind of thing. And for me, the main thing is to stay positive and to speak about it, because a lot of persons, when they're sick in whatever form or fashion, we close down and we don't speak about it because we figure, it's whatever. But it's to speak about it, be positive, and find persons like like the Reach for Recovery group, who is more than willing to assist in many, many ways.
And with that said, Mr. Heiliger, I want to turn the mic over to you now, because in your initial speaking, you would have mentioned that giving back is something that you do almost as second nature, not in those words, but paraphrasing. So I would like for you to tell us in your own words, what does it mean to give to the cause? We know October is just around the corner, everybody wears pink, it has become almost a universal, we could say fashion or practice, to wear pink during October in support of breast cancer survivors and persons going through the journey. We know that we'll always hear, support the event for the cause, come to Shades of Pink for the cause, donate to the group for the cause. But what does it mean when I put my dollar to a ticket? What do you think that means, or what would you tell the public that means when you give to a cause?
That is a rather good question. In that, as I said before, for the last 50-odd years of my life, I've been giving. And I don't normally talk about this. Lots of people would never know about it. But I guess as of today, there are some people who would now know Othniel Heiliger. Othniel Heiliger is a person who gives. And I started way back in the early 80s when, as a building contractor, most of you should know that, I used to be a building contractor. And there was this little boy, one summer, he came to me and said he wants a job. You see him, he's a very short guy, and he was only 7 years old. And he said he wanted a job. I asked him, why you want to come and work? At your age, you should be playing with the other kids around. He said to me, Mister, my mother is a poor woman, and I want to help her. With someone doing that to you, you being a human being, what could you do? You have to give in. I told him, your mother know that you want to work? He said, no. I said, go home and tell your mother that you're going to work. When he came back, I told my foreman at that time, make certain you find a job for him. If you have to go home, find a job for him. And from that day until today, he always calls me Daddy. He's not my child, but he calls me Daddy. He does anything wrong, his mother finds me and complains him to me, and I have to deal with him. Okay? So since back then, I've started giving. Ever since that day, I took care of all his school expenses. That's what I did. And since that, I've sent many people, many kids, not just to school, but to as far as university. There are some who are doctors, lawyers, you know, and you could name it, right? So it's just a part of me that I give. And I always tell them, I don't need any publicity. But Pat put me on a spot this time, and I couldn't say no. That's why I'm here today. But normally, I would not do it. Thank you.
And we say thank you so much for that. So now, Ms. Webster, as we begin to wind down and wind up the conversation, I have a final question for you. What advice would you give to other family members who are supporting a loved one with breast cancer?
I would say to those who who have someone with breast cancer, even not just breast cancer, but cancer in general, please be as supportive as you can. Please, even if it's to take them to the beach, talk about things that you did long time ago as children or what you did recently. Support them as much as you can. Please keep them talking. Anything you can do to make them smile, to make them laugh, to make them forget about their situation, because it's not everybody that deal with these things the same way.
My mom, I was so shocked that she was so strong when she found out, and I said to myself, I have to be strong as well. You understand? So as much as you can, you support them. Don't leave them home by themselves. Sometimes not even a phone call will do, because they will tell you on the phone, oh, I'm fine, I'm doing well. But then as soon as they come off the phone, they're back into their depression, they're sad, they're crying. So take them out as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Webster. And I'm hoping for those of us who want to be a part of it, we would have written down some of the tips and the things we can do, and we make them a practice. All right, back to you, Kayla, as we wrap up our conversation for today.
Well, just to add to what she said as well, if you need somewhere to bring them, the pink zone is open. It's a facility for that type of thing. We have members of the group who I'm sure would be willing to speak to persons, because I know sometimes, even though we may support from a distance, it's difficult to give the same energy that somebody who has been through a situation would give. So imagine, for example, somebody who has never been diagnosed speaking to someone who is. You may not fully understand, but if you can connect them to someone who has gone through it, they would get that support tenfold, because that person would know what to say. They would know exactly how they're feeling, what they're going through. And so, you know, the work of the Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group has been doing that. And we commend the group and its members and all the supporters for that. And also we commend our three conversationalists, our three panelists, for being a part of this conversation. And I just want to open the floor for 2 quick minutes in case we have any questions from our audience for our 3 persons here today. Does anyone at all want to ask any question to anyone on the stage this afternoon? They've all shared very touching stories from 3 very different angles. One who is supporting, one who is surviving, and one who is supporting a soon-to-be survivor. So do we have any questions? Okay, we have a question on the floor. I'll just take the mic. Oh, Randy's going to carry the mic. See, oh, she's over there. She's over there.
Afternoon. Thank you for this discussion. I'm a first timer. I wanted to find out what support is provided for first-time diagnosis. I'm asking that because I was in a setting at the hospital, and where there were 2 persons at least who were recently diagnosed and knew absolutely what to do from that point. You go, you get the diagnosis, you're recommended to a surgeon, and from my experience, the surgeon themselves don't tell you what happens next. So I'm just wondering if Reach for Recovery can have something in place for at the doctor's office, maybe medical spaces, where persons can get information as to where to go, who to reach out to when they are first diagnosed. Thank you.
I'm speaking from a personal perspective. When I was diagnosed back in 20 years ago, there was the group, but like you said, from the doctor's office, I mean, the doctors were excellent, but there was no organized structure. For me, I had to go to Puerto Rico, because in those days, there was no oncologist in St. Kitts. I had to find somebody in Puerto Rico, as we said, boot and box, and find somebody in Puerto Rico. And I actually went to Puerto Rico on my birthday in December, the 27th of December, to a place and to somebody I don't know, just somebody, we found somebody, and thank God it was, you know, a really reputable oncologist. But there might be a little more now, because there's the facility at the hospital, but back then there wasn't much. And the disconnect, if you want to put it that way, between the doctors who do the surgery and the treatment you need. I mean, it was so obvious. But the doctors were good. I had a good surgeon and, other persons to encourage me. But the disconnect in terms of from a surgery perspective to a treatment perspective, there wasn't much. And I'm not sure what the level is today, but it's still the same. Okay.
In a situation like that, I think Reach for Recovery can play a role, and so a member of the group will now elaborate on the response that was given.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very, very in-depth discussion. What I want to say in terms of diagnosis, we would only know if the person or a family member. You have to remember that the relationship between a patient and a doctor is confidential. But they cannot come and say X, Y, Z came to me today and so. What we can do, or what we did in the past, we used to have brochures at the offices. And so you would have our number. Most persons would have known my sister and contact her. And then, so once you come to us, once you're brave enough to come to us, with a member of the group who is a survivor already. They have been through the journey, so they can guide you through. In terms of treatment, we can assist with some of the financial costs. But to be honest, when persons bring a bill to us, sometimes they say it's a low-income house you're building because the cost is so high. Although we would like to help, and in terms of the medical side of it, you have a nurse, very, very knowledgeable, and she's there every Saturday. We have Dr. Nariani, who is our champion of champions. And every year, we hold an all-day screening. We pay for the mammograms, and you can go back to him and get the information. But a lot of times, people shy away. They don't want to know. And even they know they don't want to know. And it goes on like that until it reaches a stage where when they do come to us, it's really kind of late, very late. And the cost is so much more because you have to travel, you have to, and basically we do like 1,000 US. Where can that go? If 10 people come to us, can't do much. We'll help you also with the travel arrangements. But in terms of the treatment, we would really like to do. Just to tell you, as you may know, there's no one-size-fits-all in cancer treatment. So your bill might be $50, somebody's might be $1,000 and $50,000 and up. There's no one-size-fits-all. Some do 4 rounds of chemo, some do 8 rounds of chemo, some do chemo at home, some have to go away. Remember the drugs for chemo, it doesn't last long. And if the facility is not right, if the fridges are not working, can't do much with it. So basically, we are here to help and help and help, and we thank all those who support us. But it has to be word of mouth. You have to go and say, Reach for Recovery can help you. You can't just sit back. I know people in here who have helped and helped more than once, and not just breast cancer. We help any. So I just thought I'd fill in that. The early part, the doctors, I say it's confidential. And say, but what we do, we have a survivors fund day, and that's when we meet a lot of them. That's when they talk. So if you know anyone, in November, we usually, I think you would have seen the buses, and then is when you know how many young persons have it. Not under 40, they come to the fund day, and we have a wonderful time. So it's all about celebrating life.
Thank you for that information. And then we leave room for just one more question, our final question in this conversation. Anyone else would like to have that final burning question for the conversation here today as we wrap up? We have the mic is coming.
Afternoon all. It's not a question, but as a breast cancer survivor, I would just like to put an input. I'm a 16 years breast cancer survivor, by the way. When I was first diagnosed, not diagnosed, but when I first found the lump, and I went to the doctor, and I went for the mammogram, didn't show anything, but I knew because I was feeling, so I knew something was there. So I'm just saying this to say that sometimes, even though you go to the doctor and you do a mammogram, and it doesn't show it, don't feel complacent and don't leave it there and say, oh, it's nothing. Because exactly 8 months after, when a black spot came up on the breast, although the doctor and the mammogram say nothing was there. After 8 months, when it came up, I went back to the doctor. I said, you see what I tell you? I tell you I was feeling something. And I went for the second mammogram. That's when it showed up. And the allergist, whatever allergist it is, say, where this was 8 months ago, that's when I knew. It was 8 months before. And even before that, I was feeling the lump. By then, it went to a stage 2. I believe it would have been less. And I didn't go for chemo and radiation. I took tamoxifen for 5 years. A lot of us didn't want to do it. I know of another one. She said she ain't taking my medicine so long. But after my daughter went on the line and see the side effects and stuff from the mammogram, the whatever. I say, doctor, listen, I'm going to take off my breast. He said, you sure? I say, as sure as the sunshine, I'm going to take it off. He said, we could give it a try. And blah. I said, no, I'm going to take off the breast. I went by him the Monday. No, I went by him the Friday. He told me I got to bring somebody. I took my daughter the Monday. We went the Monday. He said, whatever. I said, I'm going to take it. He still insists I'm going to take it off. I took it off. I went back the Tuesday, paid my money, went in the hospital the Wednesday, went the Thursday, took it off. People say, when I used to go and talk to survivors, people say, I don't think I could have done that. I don't think I could have done that. I said, but I did it. Thank God I did. I'm here 16 years after. I said this to say with the part about the support and the doctor and between the doctor and the hospital and patient. Pink Lily, because Pink Lily Lee Harris was a breast cancer survivor. After she heard about me, she came and took me to Nevis in her house, and she is who really get me through this. Spoke to me, and I was crying, and she comforted me, and So this support, different to your family, is really important to us in these kind of situations. So, as Pat say, she has a nurse at the thing, and as she said again, nobody could know that you are a breast cancer survivor unless you come forward and say you would like somebody to go through it with. Not easy, really and truly. It's not easy, but by the grace of God and our faith and our strength and prayers, we will, and we have come to it this far. So it's not a death sentence, everyone. It's not a death sentence. And you young people, you are not too young to start to feel your breast to make sure that everything there is smooth. And do not take it for granted if you feel a lump. You might say, oh, me, I want to hear that I got breast cancer. And when you look, it's too late when you really go. So please, young people, take a stock of your life and feel and examine your breast properly. And if you feel anything or if you see anything, your nipple or your breast out of shape and so on, please go to a doctor even if you don't feel a lump. That is my advice to the young people and anyone else.
All right, thank you so much to our audience for engaging us. And now we move to our wrap-up. So I'm going to start with Ms. Adams. So what keeps you motivated to stay involved in the breast cancer community after all these years? After all these years?
Like I said, speak about it. There's somebody who you could inspire. I mean, daily people who said to me, you look like you had no breast cancer. But a lot of it is here, and once you flush there and you speak about it, I too had the surgery. If I didn't tell people, nobody will know, right? And so you have to speak up. You can't be shy about it, because if you're shy and you keep it into yourself, only you're going to know, and your family, or just you, because some persons even keep it from their families. And you speak about it, and you will see how therapy, it's therapy. Speaking about anything brings about therapy.
All right, thank you, Ms. Adams. Mr. Heiliger, do you have any message or encouragement for those who want to make a positive impact in their community?
What I would say to members of the community is to do the best you can in helping others along the pathway. And if you're in a position to help someone else, don't hesitate. And this evening, I would like to do something else. The rent for next month would be void.
And there you heard from Mr. Webster. I feel like I'm on the Oprah show. Anybody else? Mr. Heiliger, sorry. I feel like I'm on the Oprah show. But thank you so much. And let's give it up again for Mr. Heiliger, ladies and gentlemen. And for Mr. Webster, it's a simple question. Final messages, final words. What would you say to our audience who are here looking at you today?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. I called everyone I could call to ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. All right? And what I did also with the doctor part, I think the doctor hated me at a point. The doctor, hated me at a point, because I wanted to know everything. What is that for? What does this mean? I kept asking for information so I could keep up with what is being done and what has to be done. So, whoever you are supporting, once they allow you to, because it's not everyone, as my fellow panelists said, would be outward about it. To ask as many questions as you can ask to understand what they are going through, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you had it from our panelists. Please put your hands together for them one last time. So we just want to say thank you so much for joining us today and for showcasing how community champions can make an impact.
I'm having a great time at Shades of Pink. Wishing everyone will come out next year and support this cause.
Okay, I'm a member of the Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group, and I've been with this group from the inception. Now we're here today at Shades of Pink 14, and it's at the Royal St. Kitts Hotel. It's not just glitz and glamour, it's not just people and food, it's a fundraiser trying to support, trying to bring awareness to people who have been affected with the dreaded disease. So we are inviting you to come next year. It may not be the same place, but it will be the same time. Every year on the 16th of September, we celebrate our sheroes, which are people who are affected with the disease. So we have an event, it comes in different forms, but the name of it is Shades of Pink. So come on down and be a part of the fight against breast cancer.
Well, I must say I've had a wonderful afternoon at this event. It's my first time attending. I've been aware of it for a couple of years and I've assisted in various ways, but it was a wonderful time, well spent afternoon. Afternoon of learning and sharing and getting to know others on this critical topic. So all the best to the organization and many more years of success.
I'm Laverne Brooks, and this is my 4th year of attending this function. I think it's a worthy cause for persons who are affected by cancer, and I think that persons should support the cause. I think that it is also an organization that provides awareness, and I think that it is important for us as women, as men, and citizens to be aware of our status as it relates to testing and diagnosis, so that we too can provide perspectives for each person.
I just want to say I appreciate the Reach for Recovery for putting on this event. I find that a lot of persons are not aware of what facilities and what options are available for them after diagnosis. So Reach for Recovery in doing this and in establishing this forum helps to empower women and men, for men also experience breast cancer, to come forth and gain help and recover. Thank you for having me. It's been a lovely event.
Hi, my name is Janelle Keynes. I'm so glad to be here at the Shades of Pink 14. This is my first time here. I thought it was a very insightful, enjoyable event, and I'll be sure to come back next year. I hope everybody comes out to support the group and everything that Pink Outreach Lily provides for everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Want to say something? Say hi. Say hi. 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 Say thank you for coming. Say thank you for coming. Say bye. Bye. So Vicky, we've just finished hosting Beach for Recovery's Shades of Pink 14th edition under the theme Pink Eyes. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, and I am hoping that we continue to have events such as this, which can bring awareness as well as transformation, bringing community members together, whether you are a survivor, whether you're just being diagnosed, whether you just want to be an ally. I think it's important for us to have a community, to have that support, that love, that camaraderie. So I am imploring you that if you're listening and if this is your first time, take a look into the Reach for Recovery Shades of Pink event, and be next year. Next year they're celebrating 15 years, and who knows what will 15 look like, because 14 for me was really, really ice.
So my favorite part hosting was the conversation with the community champions. I like the fact that they touched on their experience as someone who went through the process, as a person who was a supporter, as a person who is supporting someone going through the process. What was your favorite part of this afternoon's event?
I think that was my favorite part as well. So being able to hear from the different perspectives, a survivor, an individual who would have been impacted by giving a space at a reduced price, listening to the young lady who actually helps as a caregiver with her mother. I was so happy and to see and to hear the different stories, because you really get an insight of how people, how they're not struggling, but how they are moving along with their lives, knowing that they are making a difference, whether it's small or big. And my question so far for is that, what's your takeaway from hosting the event? What's your takeaway?
I think my takeaway is that I have the confidence now to host an event. That's one, because I've never done an unscripted hosting. However, seriously, on a serious note, one of my key takeaways is that I have to support more. I have to give more. I'm already giving, I'm already supporting, but to do it even more. Now that I've seen the impact that it has on different people, and now that I see the way that the work of the group has been filling gaps between where the medical line draws and where that emotional line is. So definitely give more to the Pink Zone, give more to the events, and definitely support Reach for Recovery SKB in all their initiatives as they help other persons. That was my key takeaway.
I love that, and I'm hoping that because of us and because of the initiative, we can also get some more individuals to come on board and give back. Now, you can find Reach for Recovery SKB on social media. Look on Facebook, look on Instagram, shoot a message if you have something you want to do, something you want to say. See how you can get involved and be a part of this cause, because remember, we need each other, right? Let's say together, we need each other. So try and see what you can do as we try to make this world a better place, reaching one heart at a time.
And be sure to visit the Pink Zone at the OJJ's complex, which is right next to the 24-hour gas station, Delta Petroleum. There on Saturdays you can meet with a nurse, you can come to ask questions, you can come to give donations, you can come to get advice. It's just a safe space for anyone to come and support the cause. So visit.
Good afternoon. I just want to say that It was a privilege to be here at the Reach for Recovery 14th. I'm a 16 years breast cancer survivor, and I'm a part of the Reach for Recovery cancer group, and they've been very helpful and very supportive to me during this time of my ordeal. I pray God continue guidance on them, and may He continue to guide them in the right direction in order to help other persons. My appeal to people, I know people are afraid to come forward, but don't be afraid to come forward. Come forward and let them be of an assistance to you, because if they don't know, they cannot help. Don't need help and stay back and don't ask for help. So once again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here, and I also thanks for the privilege of getting assistance in one way or the other from Reach for Recovery. I pray God continue blessings on them during this time that they can help other persons.
All our supporters who came out to the 14th annual Shades of Pink, and we're looking forward now to our next event, which is the Glow Walk, and the next Shades of Pink 15, which is going to be a big one.
Perspectives Media.